this won't get you as mad on the AI front, because I think this is actually a win in the end. Is Adobe had this whole TOS thing that a lot of people got really, again, everybody gets really upset about things, and we realize it's not exactly what they said it was in the first place.
Well, here's the thing: people should get upset. People should get upset when their art and stuff are being taken advantage of. And there are times in which, hey, yes, and go ahead. I'll let you say. Yeah, I'll just jump in whenever.
That part I get, but here's the thing: you can't preemptively get upset when you don't know if that's the problem yet. A lot of people jump to conclusions and get upset before it's time to be upset, and that's what I'm talking about here, right? Adobe Creative Cloud users open their apps, and they have a new thing that forces you to agree to the new terms of service, which you're going to say yes. What are you going to do? We've all seen the South Park episode, right? So the Centipede episode, you agree to the terms of service, and you don't really have any other choice. So it seemed to suggest that Adobe was claiming rights over their work, and the ability to open their projects and use NDA projects of theirs for AI scraping. And what really happens a lot of times in the situation, and I've seen it happen in many avenues, is that it's lawyer speak. It's CYA lawyer speak that people always get upset about for no reason. This is the reason that the boomers write on Facebook, you don't have my permission to use my photos, blah, 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 because some lawyer said, hey, just in case somebody decides to sue, and just in case there was some sort of accident here or whatever, we're CYA. It's lawyers, all the way down, right?
Lawyers all the way down.
So...
lawyers on the backs of lawyers on the backs of lawyers.
It's all
lawyers
lawyer speak. So of course they're going to they issued a clarification, and I don't agree with everything that they have in their terms of service, especially the stuff now with you can't use old versions, right?
Yeah,
now, that's something that people saw and they got upset about, and they're like, no, that's true. They're really claiming that. So yeah, I'm upset about that, right?
Yeah,
you can't.
Honestly, I don't think how would they stop someone from using an old version of Photoshop or an old version of After Effects or whatever? It's like, if they bought the license a long time ago, they sure as heck are able to do that. And there's nothing that, no offense, I like Adobe, but there's nothing you can do about it, because that is law.
But also the
that
CYA...
is consumer protections. You can't retroactively take away someone's permission to use something.
But you can, because in CYA fashion, the terms of service say that they can change at any time. Another CYA thing, right? So if you go back and look at that, if I bust out my DVD copy of Adobe Photoshop CS3, which I still have somewhere around here, it says
After Effects 3 was the first one I started on.
By installing this, by you opening this thing, you're agreeing to the terms of service inside. So, I mean, what are you going to do about that, really? You're going to have to, again, you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to go with the flow, or are you just going to completely quit? And that's you really don't have a choice. You're using somebody else's stuff. I guess you could make your own After Effects. What are you going to do?
I'm going to make my own After Effects.
With
hookers and blackjack.
Yeah. So Adobe issued a statement clarifying it does not train its Firefly AI models on unpublished user content. Adobe says it does not train Firefly generative AI models on user content. It will never assume ownership of a customer's work. Again, it's just something taken out of context. Like Jen says here, wait for clarity before burning everything to the ground.
Yeah. I'm curious, though, does that include Behance?
It's published.
Okay.
So
if you're publishing your stuff on Behance that's owned by Adobe,
you gotta go look.
Are they scraping that for AI?
We'll have to look at the TOS, but that's a completely different thing, because this was more about After Effects. And people were like, well, I guess I'm never using After Effects again, because they claim that they can open my project that's NDA'd with this company. No, that's not what they're saying, and they clarified that they're not. And if they do, maybe opinions will change. They said, we recently made an update to our TOS with the goal of providing more clarity on a few specific areas and pushed a routine reacceptance of those claims to the cloud, an Adobe Cloud document where you agree to the terms every once in a while, whatever. We received a number of questions resulting from this update and want to provide some clarity. We remain committed to transparency, protecting the rights of creators, and enabling our customers to do their best work. So they've addressed it. Not that that won't change. Not that it's not going to be different in other areas like Behance. We don't know. No idea.
That actually brings up a very because I've been a big supporter of Adobe on this whole AI thing because they have been using. I've assumed that they've used Adobe stock in order to, train their AI and stuff. That's why Photoshop generative AI is not that great sometimes, But it's like that also brings into question, like, are they using Behance stuff as well? Like, what all are they training it on? This is something I shouldn't go speculating, but it's like it makes you wonder.
Well, I'll tell you.
I shouldn't go speculating, but I'm going to speculate anyway.
The thing that I like more than anything is just circle a thing and hit generate. No prompt, anything else. I get the best results from that. And right now, rotoscoping with AI is not as great as everybody says it is. Some people have had good luck, and when they have good luck, they come back to you, and what do they say? Man, this worked really well. Yeah, it did for that clip. But next week, when someone sends you a compressed clip with a bunch of grain in it, like I got this week, which I can't make any better, and I've got to track it, and the track sucks, and I've got to kind of get a manual track in there, and then I've got to clean it up, and I've got to do stuff with it. Is it going to work the same? No, it's not.
Yeah.
Or maybe it will, or maybe one shot will work and one won't, or we'll do, again, like Sora, halfway works, and then I have to fix the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's...
Have you ever used the select subject in Photoshop?
All the time.
Yeah. I don't understand why they can't incorporate that into like After Effects, because it's really quick. At selecting the subject, it's like, let's just go. What if I exported 150 frames of a thing and just did select subject?
That's what the roto is basically doing. The problem is that it's too different between frames.
Yeah.
For it to, and I'm sure that'll get better, right? But that's the whole thing. Right now, it's not there, so I'm still doing a lot of cleanup work and things. It's one of those things that I don't really advertise, but I do get quite a bit of clients that I can do easy, super fast cleanup with using Mocha and a little bit of After Effects. And my biggest go-to is that, just remove this thing off the side of the car. Okay. So what do? I go to Mocha, I track the logo or whatever's on the side of the car that I want to take off. I go to the middle frame, I save that file, I go into Photoshop, I circle it, hit generate, it completely wipes it clean, I resave it, I bring it back in, I mask it off, I attach it back to that track. And in an hour or less, I've got this whole thing cleaned up with all the little things in it because I've just, use that to your advantage while you can.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's not great for everything right now, but AI will probably get to that point. But just go with the flow. The genie is out of the bottle.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Like, you can get mad about it, but the genie's out of the bottle. I don't know what else to say or do.
Yeah.
Does everybody just revolt and say, okay, we're not gonna do art anymore? You're gonna have to go find another job. I don't know what else to say. I really don't.
Dude, there's I'm just glancing up at the Apple thing. I think they have a new calculator app for the iPad. Finally.
Oh, that's funny.
But they're making notes and like doing equations, and the iPad is solving it in their notes.
Is there AI?
Probably. I don't know.
I've been waiting for that.
Anyway,
I think that's something that's probably going to come to photos, for example. You've got that Ramini that is so good at cleaning up pictures of people and their faces. Old photos and things. I think that's going to happen. I think they're going to do a thing where you can click on something and then enhance someone's face
Yeah.
or something, or
Enhance.
I think there's going to be a lot of that coming. I'm surprised.
What was
I think I
was
might have
wanting to
said this
talk about-
before, but they're going to be the sleeper. Apple's going to be the sleeper, and they're working on some AI stuff that's just going to be. But they're waiting to get it.
Yeah.
That's what they always do. They're waiting to get it right. So
Yeah, just like they did with the with the VR out.
Well, I mean, it's not that they didn't get it right. It's just super expensive.
Yeah.
And they need games. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, they're getting it to a point where they could, put
I
something.
was
decent
wanting
out
to
there.
talk about what was that program that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
I hit up Mike about this.
Yes.
Magnific.
Magnific.
Yeah. Okay, so this past week, I needed to. So I downloaded this model, and the textures were like super low res, right? So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just bring this into Topaz and up-res them and stuff, and it didn't do that great. But Magnific it's
like an AI enhancement version.
It's like an AI enhancement. So it like reads what's going on. So I was able to take this UV map, the diffuse of the UV map, throw it in there, and create super more detailed. It was like skin textures and stuff like that. So it's super low res at first, but as soon as you throw it in there, it's like you get these really high res, and it's like 4K textures, and it looks so much better. Now, it's expensive. Like, it's like $40 a month, which is really expensive for like just a AI enhancement thing. But for some of the stuff that like Mike, or like if you're doing dailies, like this is kind of something that he's been doing, which is really cool with his dailies. He'll create like an image, throw it into this, and then like say what he wants, and then Photoshop out the bad stuff and keep in the good stuff. And it's a really great way of doing art.
Thing. Like it just gives you some things you could use. We used what is it? Runway ML for some stuff where I just needed to take some still photos and add a little bit of motion into them for a split second, and add a bunch of red giant VHS filter on top of it, right? And that's exactly what it was good for, is a half second. That was it. After that, things get wonky or whatever, but it's the same thing. It's you get an output from this, and then you Photoshop and you work with it a little bit to enhance your workflow.